Everett, I think we start off with college football. We did have a big time weekend, many major games, many major things going down, but there is nothing bigger than going over the coaching carousel, which has already started.
Okay.
It's already going around. Okay, the carnival is already up and moving. Carousel is going. The little horse golden carousel. It's already going. So Jimbo Fisher has officially been fired from Texas A&M. This came after, I believe, a 51-7 win. I'll get the exact score up. Essentially, though, Jimbo Fisher was probably informed that he would be fired, I don't know, earlier last week before the game, considering he was fired after, wait, I got it now. I got the official tally of how much they won by Everett. You're going to like this. Sorry, this is taking slightly longer than I anticipated for.
I'm just saying, oh, you got it now.
Texas A&M beat Mississippi State 51-10, and Jimbo was still fired. Also, though, Mississippi State's head coach, Zach Arnett, he was also fired after the game as well. There's currently a dumpster being emptied out right outside that perfectly sums up both coaches and staffs that participated in that game. Also, Mike Yursich, the offensive coordinator for Penn State, has been fired after their atrocious performance against Michigan. Something has to change at Penn State. Also, last little rumor tidbit. I heard a little rumor, Everett, that Manny Diaz, current DC at Penn State, is heavily linked to USC and is kind of rumored to be the USC.
You think
DC.
he would rather go be at USC than Penn State, even though I guess they're both going to be in the Big Ten, but
yes, I think so.
I mean, Penn State has put together some pretty good players, so I'd say
good players. Correct. That is true.
I never said great defenses. I just said good players.
I would say they have a championship level defense right now, and it's being wasted away by that offense. If I were to be completely honest, their defense they have right now is that Penn State defense is real right now. It's a damn shame though that their offense is truly so awful that Michigan didn't even pass in the second half. They had one.
I'm going to be honest.
I
also, let's just say he does get hired. Let's say he does go to USC, right? He's a DC for next year, and Lincoln's still there. I'm going to be honest.
I think Lincoln is 100% staying.
Yes, but and I've told you that multiple times. You never wanted to believe me. But
what I've been hearing for the past month in October, man.
Hey, let me use my sources. All right, okay. That's what we're going off. But I'm a little nervous for Lincoln Riley because a lot of the offensive success right now seemed just to be Caleb Williams being able to do things, and I'm a little nervous for the future.
Yeah, that O-line is so ass. They can't develop receivers. It's a joke.
They also just don't have a run game really either.
No, the ironic part is against Washington, like they actually this is also Washington's run defense. Yeah, no comment on the Washington run defense there. Let's just say though, when it comes to USC, like when I was at that game the other week, like USC was averaging 9 yards a pop, and they stopped running in the second half completely. It was like, why? Like it is working way too well to abandon it when at that point, it was literally a tie game. So it's not even like we were like chasing the scoreboard or anything. He just stopped running. It was very confusing to me. I did not want to spend too much time about USC specifically. I did want to spend more time on Jimbo Fisher, but real quick to wrap that up, I would say for his term at USC, yeah, it's all been Caleb. That's everything everyone's been talking about. It has all been Caleb. I would say, though, if we're going to look back to his Oklahoma days, and I look at the quarterbacks under Lincoln Riley, Baker and Caleb are kind of like the only underclassmen to come in and really perform for Lincoln. So Baker was with Lincoln, I think, for 3 years. I believe it was the quarterback for 3 years or 2 years. But
yeah, I guess Kyler transferred in. He started playing as a junior. So
redshirt senior is when Kyler.
Oh, really?
Redshirt senior is when he only had 1 year. Like remember when he got drafted number 10 overall by the A's the year before he started?
Right.
So but Kyler was a 5th year when he started. Hurts, I believe, was a 5th year, or was a true senior when he was at Oklahoma, but Caleb and Baker are like kind of the only young guys to come in and like start right away. And so I've been hearing next year that we're going after Jalen Daniels at Kansas for the quarterback position next year. I guess Malachi isn't ready. We've already spoken about Miller, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not optimistic for Ohio
Back
State.
on to Jimbo though.
Yeah, let's go back to the fun part, the fun aspect. So Jimbo has been fired. A&M, I like to shit on them. I like to make fun of them. I called them the SMU death penalty cheating award list, which now goes to Michigan. That's an easy winner for this.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Michigan's actually going to be every single
way.
candidate. Every single candidate's going to be Michigan for that award.
Yeah, just doing Connor Stallions 1, Jim Harbaugh 2. Like just going through.
Actually, shit. We're gonna individually go by the Michigan staff, and we're gonna name
you
one
have
Michigan
to
staffer as.
Well, no, it has to be Connor Stallions, then you have Brett Venables, then you got to go through each of the scouting. Like
I'll be honest. If I'm gonna be completely honest, Mario Cristobal is ahead of
on there.
in my opinion,
okay.
on that cheating list. What he's been doing in NIL is fucking disgusting, despicable, really. But okay, with Jimbo being out, I like to shit on them. I like to hate on them, and the reason I like to shit on them is because of the resources they have. 2 years ago, they put together the greatest college football recruiting class in history, Everett. In history. Now, a good amount of those players have like transferred and left and gone away and stuff like that. But the reason why I've been shitting on A&M so much is because, like, yeah, at the end of the day, they have more resources than Ohio State. Like, that's why it pisses me off, because if they did have the right coach in, boy, it would not be an even playing field. They would be dominating. So knowing all of that, yeah, Texas A&M is 1,000% a top destination. Now, I'm not saying Ryan Day would leave Ohio State to go there, but I'm saying for the coaches around college football right now, that A&M job, that's going to go first. That hire's coming first. Then everything else will fall into place.
I think I saw it was Stephen A. Smith talking about how Dion should go for that Texas A&M job, and I don't think that there's in any world where that happens. But
well, I got a little short list of some rumored coaches.
So let's hear it.
So these are half message boards from A&M, which is more so the back end. And then the first couple are pretty realistic, I'd say. So the first one, we'll start with the big name, Dan Lanning, head coach of Oregon. He's now been there for 2 seasons. Over the weekend, I mean, as a joke, my brother was just floating around the idea. As a joke, Everett, Bill, rumored to wait. Shouldn't he be fired? Isn't he supposed to be fired after?
He was supposed to get tarmacked. He didn't get tarmacked.
Did not get tarmacked in Germany. Okay, good for Bill. Good for Bill. But let's just have fun here. Let's say Bill does retire at the end of the year, or he gets fired. If you're the Patriots, would you call up Ryan Day? He's a New England guy from New Hampshire. Would you call him up to be head coach?
No, they're going to hire Josh McDaniels.
Oh, God, yuck. Which is true. But we were just having some fun being like, hey, what if Ryan Day gets offered the Patriots job? If that were to happen, in my opinion, there's no way Ryan says no, he's going. In my opinion, if he got offered the Patriots job, he's going. So if that were to happen and I were Ohio State, my number one choice would be Dan Lamb.
I mean, you do know that if Bill Belichick is let go at the end of the season, Jim Harbaugh will be the next coach just because he knows how to cheat, right?
Touche. You got a point there. You got a really damn good. That is correct. That
Connor Stallions will be on the staff.
Connor Stallions will be
he might get the head coaching offer. I'm not going to lie.
Football resources analyst. Football resources guide. Yeah, it'll be a very undescriptive title, which just means he's cheating, guys. He's cheating. But that was the first one, Dan Lanning. Another big name, which Everett, I'm not sure if you'd like this or not. Lane Kiffin. What do you think?
I fucking hate Lane Kiffin.
No, I know. But leaving Ole Miss, like,
maybe
it's
that
not
means
Ole Miss, that's the problem, right?
Well,
I'm just talking for you now.
Yeah, it's more that Lane Kiffin is. If Lane Kiffin left, then yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with Ole Miss as
Actually,
much.
I want Lane Kiffin to go to A&M so we can both hate A&M together. I want some group thought when it comes to this.
Yeah, I I'd probably fucking despise A&M.
And this last one, kind of an up and coming name here, which I think is really, really likely.
Connor Stallions?
No. Mike Elko, head coach of Duke. I think this one's actually very possible. It might not be the sexiest name compared to a Dan Lanning.
They've been doing well.
The next names I'm gonna say.
That program has been developed up very well, and
Duke football is now like a team. Like we're talking,
they're actually kind of competitive.
They're a team now. Like you actually have to look at them now. So like, yeah, Mike Elko I think's in the running now. These are the fun ones. Urban Meyer. Now I'm not saying it would happen, but if Urban was offered the A&M job, he is a million.
Oh my god,
$1,000,000% interviewing.
Oh my, you know who's going to get the job? You know who's going to get the job?
No,
Kliff fucking Kingsbury.
Oh, actually, that's actually really good.
Right?
I didn't even have that on there. That's actually
very, very plausible.
Throw that on the list. Kliff Kingsbury, current offensive analyst for USC.
Like, seriously though, like that actually is like not.
No, I love that actually. I'm with that shit. I like that one. And Kliff's been a Texas guy, played at Texas Tech. I mean, he might know some people there. I don't know. Maybe. Those are the ones. I got Dion on the list too. That's like a fun one, which not A&M, but hey, there was a top receiver commit or recruit who committed to Colorado in like December. He just decommitted, and his reasoning was, I'm not sure if Prime will be in Colorado when I come.
What about TCU's head coach?
Dykes, I don't think A&M would go after that.
I mean, this year's not fantastic, but given the situation, I'd say he's still doing a pretty damn good job. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's just A&M has so much money. That's like way, like if he becomes their head coach, there are many coaches that said no, which would shock me. But then the last one, which I think there's a zero, maybe -% chance, Dan Campbell. There are A&M fans out there who think they are going to get Dan Campbell.
The Lions head coach.
Yes, the Detroit Lions head coach.
The coach of an NFL team.
Yes, the coach of an NFL franchise. An up-and-coming one, too.
One that is 7-2.
7-2.
Right now.
Yes. Yeah, they think they're getting hit.
What fucking galaxy is that going to happen?
Texas A&M fans, that galaxy. They think.
What can you have they actually like? Do you have a copy of some shit that they've said? Like, can you?
I'll need to look up the exact.
What
like
they have said
I
about
wrote
it,
these
because
down.
I am genuinely curious what stupid.
Let me go to Message Board Geniuses.
That
on Twitter
that they're coming out on.
Okay. Let me just find a couple of these. This is actually important. We got to go over this. Let me find.
I'm just like, in no world to me will an NFL head coach go to college football. It is never ever going to happen unless they are fired.
I can't find this post. Damn.
Maybe it got deleted.
I can't.
They were like, this is definitely too much. We got to take this one down.
Okay, I've seen some more posts. Gary Kubiak or Dan Campbell.
Gary Kubiak. Okay, I think he don't know about that one.
No, Dan Campbell's the unanimous number one for all. They're really convinced Dan Campbell's coming. Oh, I see a Pete Carroll. I see a Jim Harbaugh. I see a Dabo.
You like think they're like dead serious, right? Like, there's not a joke. They're like actually
Everett. There's no such thing as sarcasm at Texas A&M. They don't know what that is. It is all faith. Well, football, faith, and family. Football comes first. So that is how they operate there. And I'll be honest, okay? Jimbo just got a fat buyout, okay? If I'm Jimbo Fisher right now, you have the best job in America. A recently fired, bought out football coach. That is the best job in America possible. But that buyout, I think, was like 77 mil. So I just want to start off with this. A university does not hire a coach unless they have a break in case of emergency glass plan to buy him out. So you don't give up that $100 million+ contract unless you have a, in case of emergency, break glass bailout plan in play. So A&M, they have a lot of money, guys. Texas A&M has a lot of money. Okay. So there's no limit when it comes to money. They're like, that is not the problem here. They do not care how much they're going to pay for their head coach. They'll do whatever. So the thing though, it's just, I'm thinking about these coaches as people. Dan Campbell is not going to go from the NFL where he has an off season. He
has an off season also, by the way, in Detroit,
and he's just
which
dealing with grown-ups.
And he also perfectly matches Detroit.
Embodies
like that is
everything.
That is the definition of a perfect harmony for a city. Yeah.
They found their guy. He's not going to A&M.
You know what? Texas A&M, if you want to buy out a head coach, don't fucking take Arthur Smith's ass. He'll figure shit out for you. All right. Get him off the Falcons.
Yeah, but I would love to see that as an A&M hater, just to see them in a constant state of mid. I think most likely of all these, most likely is Mike Elko. Watch out for Lanning.
I'm gonna say Kliff Kingsbury. Makes sense to me. I
actually really like that one.
It makes a lot of sense to me.
Like I actually really
former NFL head coach, was a head coach of Texas Tech, was almost the head coach of USC.
Not head, but
or was it OC? It's like something, right? Something like that.
Yeah, he was the OC for 8 hours, and then he took the Arizona head coaching job.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that you have, if you're like, yeah, our head coach is a former NFL head coach. He coached Patrick Mahomes, like all these things. Like
he was Mahomes' coach. So
that's a huge pitch, and Baker Mayfield technically, but
yes, technically yes. That is true.
And wasn't Kyler on that team?
Oh, wait. No. I'm sorry. Kliff was the offensive coordinator for Johnny Manziel at A&M. He has A&M roots. Everett.
Yeah, he's
Everett. This is a phenomenal call. Yeah, I didn't even see this.
He's the next A&M head coach.
Yeah, Kliff Kingsbury. You guys.
Now that's a segment.
News. I love that.
That's a segment.
Like it all. I totally the Manziel doc. I already forgot it. But Kliff was like the main coach, like ex-coach interviewed in it. Like literally the main guy talking about Johnny. But